I need to turn up the music. Please don't turn on anything sus for me. Okay. Can I test the microphone? Testing microphone 1, 2. Okay. Can I test the microphone? Testing microphone 1, 2. Oh, wow. My neck cracking is okay-ish. What about this? Beep boops.
Socials.
Working it. Thanks for stopping by! Exclamation point. Mind leaving a like? Question mark. Liked. And staying for story time. All right. Okay.
Socials.
Let's see if this works. Twitch. Okay. Okay, let's see. Right, that's pinned over there. Just the face cam. Hello, folks, it's me. I'm Biggie and I'm back. We're live. Wait, 15 viewers on the tubes? That's interesting. Yeah. Is that true? Come on, YouTube. Are you pushing my views that much? I don't think that's true, but yeah. If you're here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to leave a like. Yeah, there's a bunch of viewers here. We're just reading and writing a novel today. And if there are people viewing and are curious about what I'm doing, or if you're new to the channel, which most of you probably are, I'm a quadriplegic, so my hands don't work. The only way that I could write is through text-to-speech. I'm using ChatGPT for help in capturing what I'm writing and make sure that I don't have any spelling mistakes. So if you're not into that kind of stream, then and you're here for the story times and whatever you are here for, because YouTube usually just pushes the notification for going live against unsuspecting viewers. And if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Yeah. And if you like this kind of content, leave a like. But yep, guys scroll and people are scrolling away. Of course, that's fine. That's expected. But thank you for those of you who are staying anyways. Usually YouTube just does this. Yeah. Okay. And if you're staying to support, thank you for doing so. Yeah, I uh in the process of writing a novel. I have a couple of chapters out already, and if you're interested in checking that out, let me make sure that I link you to my novel page, which is somewhere. Where is the pages? Yep, it's here. Copy and paste. Wait, why is this doing that? Okay. Yeah, this is good enough. Okay, so with that being said, stretchy. I'm just happy you guys are here to listen in. And also, if we're going to get started, we might as well get started thanking our members as well. Where is our members screen? So currently, the members are Apilux, Manta, Ruffle Vega Chapa, I'm Islam and Chris Burton. You guys get to watch vids early, get some cool badges and emojis for whenever you comment, and also get turned into a Pokemon. So if you want to support my channel that way, feel free to do so. Otherwise, like the video, you enjoy it, subscribe if you want to see more, got the bell to get notified for etc. For those of you who are in the US, hope you're doing okay with the daylight savings and the increased the lack of having any sun during your evenings. Hope you're okay with that. Oh, and if you're wondering what's happening on this side, it's just me, friggin' fork, trying my best. Everything's physio for me, so hopefully things are going to go okay there. The only thing right now that I'm having trouble with is the fact that I haven't written much at all. The pages are still blank, and today I'm going to force myself to write as much as I can. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to the blank screen and stare at it, and hopefully that I'll find inspiration sometime. What's happened? Okay. Let me move this to the center for a little bit. There we go. Nope, one more pixel. There we go. Staring at a blank screen. What a stream. Oh, wait. Why is our Pokemon members in the back there? Pokemon members should move. Oh, yeah, because we have a one of these screens that I'm not where's my Pokemon members thing? No, this one. We have to move it in front of the webcam today. Okay. And for the webcam, I'll need to turn off some filters. Just a bit of the chroma key. Then the loot. Right. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see my face. Somewhere over here is fine, right? Yeah, there we go. Oh man, I could do some sleep right now. I spent last night overthinking. Wait, why is the PNG tuber in front of the chat? Should be behind it. And a little bit smaller. There we go. Move out here. Yep. I spent quite a fair bit last night trying to write. And this morning, forcing myself to write as much as I can. But nothing is confirmed yet. So everything is going to be kind of like drafty. And not in the whatchamacallit sense. Not in the there's howling wind sense. It's just about a bunch of things that I'm propping. All right, so let's see what I've come up with so far. Right. Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to copy the text over here. That I am in the middle of working on. Select this text. And this is so where are we? No. Damn it. Hooray. What is this is like the Stephen Fry moment where wait, it took me an hour to write. I thought it's going to take me an hour to read. Okay. No, let's just try pasting it again. This font seems a little small. But yeah. Yep. Thank you for inserting all of these like the M dashes. I specifically asked it not to M dash, but it still does anyways. Right, Saint Zara stays in camp. No, this has to be the Nixborian General Vladan. Saint Zara stays in camp. That is not a request. It's survival. Seal feels kind of off. I think less said is better. Its survival is a little bit off. A tent murmured. The sound of claws against wood, the rasp of armor plates shifting in frustration, punctuated by the smell of lamp oil and damp maps. It breathed like a living thing. Canvas walls flexing with the wind's pulse. Every gust from outside carried smoke, ink and blood that had not yet dried. General Vladan the Tempered stood at the center of it all, fragrant of impossible stillness, until he wasn't. His stripes caught the the flicker of light. Orange fading into black like coals gone to ash. His shoulders were wide, his tail restless, twitching with every report that didn't please him. His armor, polished to a dull gold, still bore dents from a campaign a decade ago, before the reforms. Scars he refused to have repaired, punctuation in a speech no one dared to interrupt. Oh, that sounds good. I tried to stifle a yawn, but the past week had me dictate for Zara. Wait. What had my music skipped there? Huh. What the deuce? That freaked me out. What had me lag spike there? Not even the music. I'll turn on the alternate bit of music there. Then. Doom. Why? But why is the text so small? I wonder if I could increase the text size. That looks a little bit better. Yep. Okay, that's good. I tried to stifle a yawn. The past week had me take dictation for Zara by day, reorganizing my half-burnt pages by night. Every day she tries to leave, and every day the council refuses. I had not slept these last 2 nights, and judging by the way the candlelight bled into the paper, I feared that one day the ink would start writing itself without me. Oh, love that line though. Just a bit of foreshadowing of what's going to happen next too. Ladan leaned over the campaign map, claws extended, tracing the southern border in quick surgical strokes. Red wax markers toppled beneath his knuckles like crushed berries. Oh man, I must have been half asleep while writing some of these. Have crossed the floodplains, taken 3 outposts without a fight. The riders burn out Signet towels because we stopped answering them. The Republic is too new to bleed this fast. Just straightened, tails flicking the way a cat says whether it still remembers its balance. Yep. They think we've gotten how to be soldiers. We traded the spear for a vote, the sword for sermon. His eyes flickered towards Zara. They are not wrong. The tent fell silent, the flame light shifted, and I kept writing. Ladan's words were heavy, not because they were wise, but because they were true. They were true enough in their eyes. I think that's I really want to add that they are true enough from the point of view. From their eyes. From their eyes, in their eyes. In their eyes. Every soldier in camp could feel feel the decay he described. The pride turning into policy. The discipline turning into debate. We turned soldiers into citizens, continued. And now we're surprised. Yep. Wait, that's a contradiction. Yep. Many have died because of it? Paying for our freedom in blood. Taking the 3 outposts without a fight. Our freedom. I think it's that freedom. In blood, I think. He slammed the clawed hand on the table. As an accent to his point. Sending an inkwell tipping towards my notes. I don't think he didn't notice. It's unnecessary here. It just I like catching it out of reflex. My pen's still moving. I think fear and hate. I think hate does hate and fear, perhaps both, which are the same thing when spoken by generals. Man, it sounds nice, but it's not necessarily that nice. Hmm. Seems a little bit pessimistic to say that he feared her or hated her. Hmm. Okay, probably not hate or fear. I don't think that is reflected here. Spoke out of hatred or fear. Out of anger, not hatred. Yep. When it leaves the mouth like spoke out of anger or fear, perhaps both. I think there's another word for spoke. Lashed out. What would be an alternative to spoke? When I think instead of this, whether he spoke out of anger or fear. Does that seem right? I caught it out of reflex, my pen's still moving. I wondered, not for the first time, whether he spoke out of anger. Out of anger or fear? Or perhaps both? Which are often the same. Yeah. As these lines are often blurred. When those words come out. Come from the mouth. or perhaps both. These lines are often played when not those words, when words from the mouth of the generals. Yep. Okay. So that's the first part. I'm gonna save it first to chapter 5. I'm not gonna fix the date yet, but by saving, we'll edit some more. Okay. Let's see what I have written down next. Hopefully this is going to, like I said, I'm opening this on a friggin' wiki page, so it's probably not ideal. Go back to my live streaming page. Here. Cats. Wait. Okay, there we go. There's my project. Is that everything from that passage? Yep. There's some I'm not very happy with, but I'll copy it. And let's do all the editing. Ooh. Is that correct? Is that the correct passage? I guess. Yep. Hmm. I know the. Hmm. Um. Mirroring the cadence of Think of the storm. Lord Tawana himself. We need to mention that he's the late Lord Tawana himself. I don't like this dialogue either. Because she needs to consider what he's saying, right? A good debater, a master debater, needs to at least repeat the points of what's being said. That sounds... There's a bit of dialogue here that I want to refine. I remember writing something along the lines of not mistaking weakness for stillness for weakness. I said something along the lines of well, okay, so let's just capture my thoughts a little bit. To a little note. Okay, I'll add maybe a little bit of a paragraph here. Brackets. And I'm gonna say, what am I going to say? There needs to be a bit of a change in dialogue here. I want the second part of the dialogue be, I have his, and he'll have your head on a pike. Come on. That's really weird. Maybe if we talk to him with a cool head. And I'm not sure if the cool head will work here as well. Cool head sounds not very of the time. And he'll have your head on a pike. No, that's not what I wanted. Or something appropriate for the period. The first part is Sarah needs to acknowledge the fact that lives were lost due to her reformation. Echoing the words of Vladan. To confirm that she was listening. You mistake stillness for weakness. And that's the wrong spelling of Zara. Right. Now, Hadir. Will have yours in the pike, yep. Yep. A voice. Slow, quiet, but landing heavier than a shout. Martyrdom won't work. Not against them, Muhammad. They follow the god who swallows. They believe all things return to earth. Flesh. Especially fruits. What's memories? Yep. Your death apostle. Good. Okay. And let's go ahead and get the Radoslav description up here. Dude. Um, that a voice from a shadowed corner. slow. Slow. Semicolon. Quiet, but landing heavier than a shout. In the seat, tucked in the corner, was eh, on one chipped at the tip, the other polished only by habit. His robe was stained with ink and broth, fermented in place, where sleep had won arguments with grooming. Yep. He looked into my tired eyes, like a bureaucrat dragged from bed. One of those. Yeah. He sat downwind on his own volition, avoiding the spread of his musk in an otherwise crowded tent. Already, okay. Do. He continued, comma. Okay. Before the god who swallows, they believe. No, it's believe. Yep. Okay. Good. No, wait a minute. Why is it saying candlelight? Did they say... I said candlelight earlier, right? Lamp oil. Yeah, there we go. Of my own candle. In blood. Yep, he slammed a clawed hand down on the table. We'll figure out that dialogue later. Dara met Vladan's glare. Nobody's watching. That's fine. Let him take it, he said softly. Let him have my head if that's the price. Martyrdom won't work. God who swallows the... So many silences. I looked at Sarah. Okay. Let me do... Oh man. Just shuffling around the dialogue seems kind of sus here already. What else do I need to actually fight? There's the join us here on the council. And over here is probably more murmuring. And then it has to be Zara considering it. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Do-do-do-do-do-do. What a quite old Worldbuilding Wednesday. I was hoping that we have some more viewers, but okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind. Just me having to pay for the fact that writing streams aren't always the best streams, but if I don't do this right now, this chapter will never get done. Where's the part where I wrote down considerate? Okay, let me just do a bit of saving because that's important. Muharmi, arsenal weakness. Let's see. What else are we doing here? Zara amidst Fladan's glare. Still even the flame.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy, Mana. Thanks for being here, buddy. Wow, the stream was getting kind of lonely. I've been editing well, not editing. I've been writing, quote unquote, my novel or morning because. So here's what's happened so far. First off, yesterday was, I planned to write, but of course, my wife came back and we watched.
Sorry, was busy with some late night house chores.
No worries, that's fine. Wait, late night house chores? What time is it now? But but yeah, my wife and I watched Physical Asia. So I spent the time that I was supposed to spend writing with her, so that was good. But now I'm in the process of rewriting the incomplete chapter 5. I'm not even start. Well, I'm kind of forcing myself through the writer's block and make sure that chapter 5 gets done, at least the first entry. So yeah, I'm gonna see what response we got from the chat. Yep. Okay. How are you doing, Mana? I will see if I have
Tired. I had that conference today, which was an hour and a half drive away.
Oh yeah, today was that conference day, wasn't it? Okay. So
It lasted from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, yep. Oh man, seminar. Especially obligatory ones, right? Ugh. Oof. Work-related obligatory seminars. And there's nothing quite worse than being in a seminar that with those who don't actually know how to deliver it. Because I've delivered seminars before my accident, and oh boy, if you don't know how to freaking be in front of a crowd and deliver it, it is the most cringe experience you could imagine. It requires a lot of being able to be around people and be with people and being sociable. But I guess, I don't know, if it at least was delivered by one of those, well, it was pesticides, right? So if it's delivered by somebody who is in the agricultural field with some semblance of human ability to actually deliver it, instead of if you've ever saw Charlie Brown, you know, it feels like everything goes wah 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 wah, you know, all that. Anyways, how about we read some of the story, huh? Because now that you're here.
The speakers were all right, but sitting there that long is not easy. Also, I didn't get any sleep last night because my stomach decided that I needed to make frequent trips to the restroom all night.
Wonderful. How craptacular. I'm sorry to hear. But I also sympathize for those days where my stomach doesn't cooperate. Empathize? Sympathize? I know exactly how you feel. Well, it is tough that I can't even control my bowels sometimes. But yeah.
Always happens when I have to get up super early.
Yeah.
My stomach
Always.
decides no sleep tonight, bathroom tonight.
Yeah. Great. Always, always, always. Oh. And my stomach says no stream today. And stuff. Similar. But yeah. Okay, so this is the supposed first entry of chapter 5. Okay? Saint Zara stays in camp. That is not a request. The tent murmured. The sounds of claws against wood, the rasp of armor plates shifting in frustration, punctuated by the smell of lamp oil, rope, bombs, no, lamp oil, and damp maps. It breathed like a living thing. Canvas wall. Wait. Yep. Great. That's correct. Canvas walls flexing with the wind's pulse. Every gust from outside carried smoke, ink, and blood that has not yet dried. General Vladan the Tempered stood at the center of it all, a tigrant of impossible stillness, until he wasn't. His stripes caught the flicker of light, orange fading to black like coals gone to ash. His shoulders were wide, his tails restless, twitching with every report that didn't please him. His armor, polished to a dull gold, still bore dents from a campaign a decade ago. Before the reform, scars he refused to have repaired. Punctuation in the speech no one dared to interrupt. I tried to stifle a yawn, but the past week had me taking dictation for Zara by day and reorganizing my half-burnt pages by night. Every day she tries to leave, and every day the council refuses. I had not slept the last 2 nights, and judging by the way the light of my own candle bled into the paper, I feared one day the ink would start writing itself without me. Okay. I think dawn by dusk. Should I
That's
just
an AI illusion, isn't it?
AI illusion? What AI illusion? Wait, is that from Manta or from someone else?
The ink cloud'll start writing itself without me.
Ah, yeah. Huh, okay. That's kind of that is kind of a nice allusion to it, I guess. For Zara, each dawn, is it each dawn or by dawn? From dawn. By dusk. Yep. But anyways, Vladan leaned over the campaign map, claws extended, tracing the southern border in a quick surgical strokes. Red wax markers toppled beneath his knuckles like crushed berries. The Muhammir smelled weakness. They've crossed floodplains, taken down 3 outposts without a fight. The riders burned out signal towers because we stopped answering them. The Republic is too new to bleed this fast. He straightened, tail flickering in a way a cat tests whether it still remembers its balance. They think we've forgotten how to be soldiers. They trade the spear for a vote. That we traded a spear for a vote. The sword for a sermon. His eyes flickered towards Zara. They are not wrong. The tent fell silent. The flame light shifted, and I kept writing. Vladan's words were heavy, not because they were wise, but because they were true enough in their eyes. Every soldier in camp could feel the decay he described, the pride turning into policy, the discipline to debate. We turned soldiers into citizens, continued, and now we were playing for that freedom, in blood. He slammed a claw down on the table, an accent to his point. sending an inkwell tipping towards my notes. I caught it out of reflex, my pen still moving. I wondered, not for the first time, whether he spoke out of anger or fear, or perhaps both. These lines are often blurred when words come from the mouths of generals. Zara didn't flinch. He never does. She simply waited until the fury burned itself to embers. When she spoke, her tone was calm. Her tone was calm enough to shame the storm, mirroring the cadence of Lord Tawana himself. And then there needs to be a bit of a change of I had the AI generate the dialogue, and it was unhappy because he said this whole tirade about you make mistake stillness for weakness and stuff. No, I think we need to have her start by saying, you're right, General. Many lives were lost, but and she probably has a almost naive. I wouldn't say naive because we're already hinting at the fact that she's a hidden isekai protagonist. She probably wants still stuck on her own ways, saying, I want if we're going to go with the isekai protagonist route, or she's the player character in a video game filled with NPCs route, she probably wants to take the story in her own way. So maybe she says, I want the peaceful route. I want to be able to talk to him, you know? So basically, I want to, maybe I talk to him with a, and there's a line that I want to try to create, which is like, maybe if we talk to him with a cool head, but, and he'll have your head on a pike. That's the line I want to create, to craft, right? And Al Hadir, yep, is that maybe if I could just talk to him with a cool head, or something, or some idiom appropriate for the period, right? And then he'll have yours on a pike, yep. And there we go. There's the name of our Meng Ho, or the enemy general. The name hung in the air like a drawn blade. Even the map on the table seemed to recoil. Because it's a serpent. Al Hadir, the devouring king. The serpent who outlived the 7 right winters as many wars. Do we call him the serpent? Oh, man,
Slight nitpick,
yeah.
the bit about crushed berries. Though a descriptor, seems a little out of place. Perhaps like blood flecked upon the sands.
That's true. Like I said, this is... That is correct. Blood. Blood flecked upon sand. To
me, seems more relevant given the militarist nature of this scene.
I think that it is... yeah. How about we meet somewhere in the middle? Because there's a because there's a lot of bleeding going through already. There's bleeding and blood. because
True.
the crushing of berries is to create wine. So berries crushed into blood red wine or something, yeah, or something of that nature.
Red wax markers toppled beneath his knuckles, like stains upon a winemaker's hands.
Yeah. Stains from a winemaker's hands. I do like that. I do like that very much. The Mohamir smell weakness of crop floodplains. Taken out. Yep. Okay. The thing is, Al Hadir is a wadi, so he's a croc, right? I wouldn't want to say the reptile who had outlived 7 winters, but the serpent is. The thing is, I want to. Maybe the Wadi Devouring King? Because he's not just the king of the Wadi, he's a Wadi, the croc people. I mean, the serpent who outlives 7 winters and as many wars. To the Nixbor, he was a myth best left unsummoned. To the Muhammir, endurance made flesh. And to me, it was just a handwriting in my casualty lists, always preceded by losses too.
The Wadi's devouring king?
The thing is, I want the Wadi to be a descriptor of his, because if it's Wadis, these nuts. But if it's Wadis, it means that he is the king of just the Wadis, but he wants to be he's king of the Muhammad here. So he needs to. So Wadi's devouring king is. Can insinuate a lot of things. The devouring king is like I think it has to be the Wadi, yep. Rather than the serpent. Because we in chapter 4 we went over Seret.
Like he devours the Wadi, thus the Wadi devouring king? Or just the Wadi devouring king?
No, I think no. He's Wadi. Okay, so back to the Muhammir. Muhammir is a confederate of reptile raiders and consists of many tribes. There's tribes and races. They have the Wadi, which are the crocodile folk, and then they have the turtle folk, and they have the uh, I think it's the lizard folk. Yep. The lizard folks are the one who are the diplomats and they could blend into environments, and then most of the merchants. The turtle folk are basically, they usually are like bastions of defense. I also have caravans because they could travel long distances without needing water, you know, and but basically the logistical, they're behind the logistics of everything. Uh, that's a jab at everything being slow if it's logistics. But there's also the skinks, who are the minorities of the lizard folk. So it needs to be clear that he's king of the Mahamir. Yeah. But the problem is right now we haven't had mentions of other races of the serpent people as well. So we might need to find a place. But the place would probably be a descriptor of
Okay,
yeah,
I got a bit lost there. Thank you.
no worries. But I want the descriptor to be more telling of what's happening. Oh no! I want a show don't tell moments for descriptors. We're not gonna go over the various races as oh, this is a species, that is a species. We'll talk about the species once we encounter them. We'll encounter the lizard folk on a raid, on one of their raids. And maybe a skink on one of their more compassionate moments. Yep. The Mahamir endurance made flesh to me was just a handwriting in my casualty list, always preceded by losses too. But Zara met Vladan's glare. Then let me him take it, he said softly. Let him have my head, if that's the price. But I will give it to him myself. That stilled even the flame. It hissed once and dimmed. I think a lot of wait, is that the first moment? No, this yep. The tent fell silent, the flame life shifted, and I kept writing already. But yeah, that's still even the flame. That's fine enough. It's different enough from the first time from the tent falling silent. It hissed once, then dimmed. Martyrdom won't work, said a voice from a shadowed corner I had nearly forgotten was occupied. Slow, quiet, but landing heavier than a shout. In the seat was Radoslav of the Deep Vale, half lost in lamplight and smoke. His horns were uneven and dull, one chipped at the tip, the other polished only by habit. His robe was stained with ink and broth, fur matted in places where sleep had won arguments with grooming. He looked, to my tired eyes, like a bureaucrat dragged from bed, one of those polite appointments made to appease the talk of equality. He even sat down on his own volition, avoiding the spread of his musk in an already crowded tent. I love this character already. I love the unassuming unassuming character. There's a character in the Three Kingdoms called Pang Tong, right? And he's one of the most brilliant strategists in the Three Kingdoms. Like, his work was like he was basically on par with Zhuge Liang. With Zhuge Liang Kongming. But tragically his life ended early before he could achieve much. So there's that. But his descriptor was he was people underestimate him because he was ugly. Like, he was ugly, he was unkempt. Maybe Oh, but my headcanon regarding him is that he's not, he's some sort of savant, right? Because people with like a certain look, imagine somebody being looked down upon, the way he looks, he's unkempt, he doesn't keep up with appearances, or maybe just neurodivergent of some sort in general, right? But over here, we're going to have a character who's very meek in appearance, but also he's going to be revealed to be the smartest one, right? But anyways, martyrdom won't work. Not against the Mohamia, he continued. They followed the god who swallows. They believe all things return to the earth. Flesh, memories, and especially truths. They will not fear your death, Apostle. They will eat it. Zara turned to him, more curious than offended. And what would you have me do, Senator? Radoslav leaned forward, horns catching the lamplight. If you wish to change them, don't die for them. Make them choke on your mercy instead. I looked at Zara, and I could see the idea taking root behind her eyes, the way lights find shape through smoke. Again, there's a lot of smoke. There's smoke, shadows. How many times is smoke mentioned here? 3. Okay. Where's the first instant? Okay. Soot. That's the other word we could use. Light finds shape through shadow. Wait, did we also have 2 instances of shadow? Dimmed corner. Nope, we just had a dim. Ah, oh, darn it. Yep. Dark. There we go. Darkened. I need to hydrate. A couple of viewers here. Feel free to say hi, folks. Yep. Join us here on the council if you much. Yeah, there we go.
We are writing a novel lead.
Not Novelite.
Strong sad reference.
Oh wait, is this okay? Wait. Which reference was that from? We are writing on Novelite. I could do it 10 times. Okay. But yep, so he's going to invite her to join join them at
He
the
tells
council.
Marzipan this during one of the Halloween episodes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so that's what I've gotten so far. Let me just do a little bit of editing a bit more. And I'm gonna see what else that I've come up with. Or more accurately, see what else ChatGPT generated as an idea. But we have the future beats of this chapter already. So basically, let's go and post the beats of the chapter first before replacing it with the handwritten passages. Right. But okay, so here's the okay, right click, copy, and I'm going to add this at the end of this little edit as the beats to add. Okay. 5 and beat 6. Yep. Oh, they even there's like if you must meet, I'll let her sit this council. Yep. If you must meet Al-Hadir, let us be the stones that make the road. You saved us once. We can repay your portion. Yep. Okay, Control X. That makes the road. You saved us. More than once. We can repay at least a portion, maybe. Yep, there's this beat. Okay, so next is the beat, fifth beat, which is Zara's reluctant agreement. I will consider it. Yep. And underline the words in the margin. Yeah, that's not what I wanted at all. But yeah, these are ideas we need to rewrite. This is organization. Analyze the word twice in margin. I'll consider it. No, I don't like this. Cloud exhaled in mutters and cloth. Officers drifted out. Ladon striped dulled as he sheathed his claws. Radoslav tugged his robe's strength and failed. I closed my ink and told my hands I would let it sleep. It laughed at me. Yeah, I'd like that one though. But there's got to be a here's the how I'm going to write this, right? The ChatGPT has an idea of how I want to write it, but then I'm going to have to write this anyways, right? It says the camp quieted the way fires do, not all at once, just less and less. If I lit a smaller lamp in the corner and emptied my satchel, half pages and flakes, it just blistered by heat. I think this was what it was. No, okay. I made an adjustment as well. Somewhere. See. Okay, so here's the text it generated that I need to basically say no to. But yeah, so this is how the rest of the chapter is gonna go. Like each time somebody spoke up or has an idea or is about to do something in the present, Jakob will somehow miraculously piece together a piece of the puzzle from his past. And then he's going to write it down as a small entry. That's what you said. As a small entry in like with a separate date and indented. Yep.
So his mind collecting bits and pieces of scattered wisdom.
So the thing is, you know, in the previous chapter, his I'm not sure if you've seen the episode 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh or not. I'm not sure if it's even episode episode 0, season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh, or the newer Yu-Gi-Oh might have had this. But when Yu-Gi-Oh was basically, remember how he had the Millennium Puzzle, right, in a box, and he was not able to construct it whatsoever at all. But suddenly, as if by divine fate, he was able to just take everything into place. Like there was kind of a divine providence. They had to wait a little bit before things click into place. And you know how he had these scattered pieces of the page, right? And there's some sort of kind of like divine intervention, probably preventing him from this is probably in his own head canon as well, that some sort of divine providence had him everything click into place when it doesn't seem to have to be so before. And it leans into the whole eldritch thing where things won't fall into place until it does. Yep. Sarah okay. Zarya has retired without ceremony. Radoslav disappeared with the way he had arrived, holding back into the dark. Ladon lingered longest, pacing, muttering to himself, a storm searching for thunder. Then even he was gone. Okay, this doesn't make sense. Jakob shouldn't be the one remaining in the war tent. He should retire to his tent, right? But yeah. So I'm gonna bracket these. Yep. I should have slept. I had it in 2 days. Okay. If that's going to be mentioned here, then I could yeah, he's already mentioned he hadn't slept in 2 days. Or maybe, just maybe, I love the fact that he's so sleep deprived that he's saying that he hasn't slept in 2 days, twice. Instead, yeah. Or maybe it's just that.
2 days without sleep, lol.
Yep. Because 2 days is going to be the day that it's going to get back to you. Well, by now you should have somehow realized what you're going to do. I don't believe in anybody feels. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Instead, I began sorting through what scraps of writing that survived the raid. Charred corners, warped edges, phrases that refused to make sense. The air smelled faintly of lamp oil and wedge parchment. Another bit of lamp oil and wedge parchment. Yeah. Without plan or thought, it started to work. Started to align. There we go. The fragments fit together. Sentence. Okay. Damn it. Started to piece. Fine. Pages. Sorted. My hand stopped shaking. I wasn't writing so much as watching the ink arrange itself, like ants finding their way back to the nest. I could almost hear the rhythm of it. Not the words, but the steady pulse of something older guiding the line. Yep. Hold the line! For the first time since the caravan raid, I felt clarity. Not relief, not triumph, just a sense that someone else was moving through me. I think this is a little bit overdoing it. Yeah. The sense of someone else was moving through me. A larger handwriting borrowing my bones. Found a half-scored page at the bottom of the pile, one that had refused to yield before. It's memory, yep. Well, the fuck, I remembered it now. Yep. 7 years passed. Laborers late rate laid down, yep. But it's AW something. Yep, the Orixan laborers laid down
Awestruck.
their... Yep. Now the thing is... The thing is, this needs to be the format, right? So we're going to not insert a paragraph here. But it's going to be what's going to be is it's going to be an entry within an entry, right? So over here it's going to be the indent, and basically AW something, and then the an entry that actually gets rewritten from this past, right? Yep. It comes together. When I finished, I realized my hand was covered in ink to the wrist. Instantly climbed out of me instead of in. Yep. Okay, this makes no sense. Okay. First memory. Yep. Yeah, this... Okay, this needs rewriting completely. But basically, this is the... first memory. Yeah. And then the next entry will be... Okay, I'm going to save this just now, right? And then we'll come back to work on this. Definitely. At a later date. Well, that's going to be entry 1. And then the second entry will be Radoslav's battle. We're going to have the Muhamir show up, laugh at Radoslav being the general or leading the charge, and the him being revealed as the smartest mind of the council. So basically, there's that. and it's an underestimation of that, and we're going to go to the capture and release thing as the end of the entry. And then we at the end of that entry, that's going to be her plan, and then we're going to have another memory set up as well. This probably will have to take several chapters, depending on how okay. I planned on 2 chapters, right? This probably is looking like 3 chapters worth of actions. But we'll try to plow through this as okay. Great. I just made a ox related joke. I think I'm done with this stream today. We'll go ahead and maybe do some Civilization 6. Otherwise, I'm going to I'm going to break. I've already broken, I think. Right. Anyways, Civ 6 time. So let's go ahead and thank my members.
Well, you did good so far.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all well and good. Am I happy so far of how things are turning out? It is a lot. It is the hardest chapter I've had to ever write, or I've had to actually I had to reorganize. Currently, I could say reorganize, and I feel a little bit better now that, like, okay, so here was the deal, right? I was very tempted today to say I didn't write anything, right? I was very tempted to go, hey, I know I said yesterday that I was going to do Worldbuilding Wednesday, but I didn't write anything. And I felt that that kind of cheapens my integrity a little bit. Cheapens my word a little bit, right? And I wanted to do this stream. This stream is the only structure right now that I have to make sure that I keep writing. And it's I think I'm robbing myself and robbing all my viewers of showing off what I wanted to do by saying I wanted to do it and, you know, not do it. If you understand what I'm saying. I think it's a little bit on the I feel this is more of a victory over a victory than saying that, you know what, I haven't finished it, let's just go ahead and do my streams again, do play video games. Like, it feels a little bit more earned than just going and playing games. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this part of the stream. Go set up Civ 6 now. I'll see if we could conquer the... Well, just the thing about it is the domination victory is pretty much almost a done deal already for this. The only problem right now is I'll talk about Civ 6 on the stream once we switch to it. So yeah, thank members. Thank you, members. Thank you, Apilux, Manta, Ravel Vega Chapa, I'm Simon, Chris Bredden for being members at the time of streaming, getting to watch vids early, getting cool badges and emoji for whenever you comment. And yeah, for the rest of you guys, if you enjoy the stream, as scuffed as it is, and I feel like I would be robbing you guys by just streaming something else and playing video. I could always play video games whenever, right? But yeah, I'll go and do Civ 6 or something. I have no idea. I mean, tomorrow's the day, another day off, because wait, tomorrow is my Friday. Yep, so my caretaker won't be here. And I'll get as much done as possible. But anyways, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more. Click on the bell to get notified for when I go live, etc.
I apologize that I was late, but I still enjoyed this image to love.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no worries. We'll play some Civ now. So I'll be right back.